and I spoke about the greatest vulnerabilities and where people are most vulnerable. And amazingly enough, you said that one of the most vulnerable places was actually with your spouse. And spouses stealing personal information from other spouses. So as much as we'd all love to truly trust our spouses forever and always, what do people need to do to keep themselves safe?
Well, I think as much as it's a good thing to have like joint bank accounts and building credit together, it's also important, for instance, for spouses to actually have separate accounts to do some of the things that they want to do, but they should be open about it. And they should also be building separate credit profiles, because if a spouse passes away, loses a job, becomes ill, it's important to build a strong profile. But also you have to keep in mind the fact that if something goes wrong, you also have to be on guard. That's why monitoring programs can be very helpful to you. Because the issue is that nobody knows more about you than your spouse.
So let's talk about, so we have these accounts, and if I have my own account, but my spouse might steal my information, do I keep these accounts secret? Is it my secret little gift account?
No, but what you do is you get transactional monitoring on your accounts, which notifies you anytime there's activity in your account.
It'll notify my spouse as well, no?
It doesn't have to. You can get specific monitoring because this is your account. They may know your information, but you're the one that gets monitoring, and the monitoring comes to your cell phone, for instance.
So are there any telltale signs that I can see in my spouse that they might be doing something? Like, are there telltale signs to see that they stop talking to me, they don't look me in the eye, they are spending a lot of time off in a private corner? That would tell me
there's no question that
check.
if your spouse starts to get secretive, your antenna should go up. But if you have certain monitoring in place, you have credit and identity monitoring, so you know what's going on with your Social Security number. If you have monitoring of your bank accounts, if you start to see strange transactions. Also monitoring, will tell you in the event that you have a new mortgage account that you weren't aware of because unbeknownst to you, your spouse forged your name. I had a close friend who had no idea that her spouse had actually gotten a second mortgage on their home, forging her name, and ultimately they had to sell the house. They at least got out even, but it was a terrible and trying situation, and she admitted that she hadn't been monitoring, she hadn't been paying attention, she had been trusting, and it's critically important to trust your spouse, but as President Reagan used to say, trust but verify.
So in terms of monitoring, is it that I have to pay for a monitoring service, or are there things that I can easily check on my own?
Well, there are a few things. You can go to annualcreditreport.com, see a free copy of your credit report once a year, and check it and make sure that every piece of information on it looks familiar. You can monitor your credit scores. If your credit score suddenly takes a hit, it could indicate that you might be a victim of identity theft. And let's say your spouse took out credit in your name and failed to make a payment. You can do that. You can set transactional monitoring in your bank and your credit accounts to notify you anytime a transaction occurs. So if it doesn't look right, you can look into it and find out. You can also get more sophisticated forms of monitoring that you can get from the credit reporting agencies or companies like LifeLock, Credit.com, Credit Karma, where you will be able to see what's going on in your credit and you'll be up to date. So these are different things you should be doing, especially if something is going on with your Social Security number.
Gotcha. All right. Good advice. Thank you, Adam Levin. You can get Adam's book swiped at bottomlinestore.com. And do that social thing, because this information is so important. And as Adam said, we're all in this together. So share this video, let your friends know about Adam's good work, and again, come to our site.